Hello there and welcome back to Strategic Command WWII War in Europe as we continue our fight to the last bullet against the Wargaming Guy in 1944 D-Day scenario. And this time around we are going to conclude this series. And before we'll see the replay, I've received a message from the Wargaming Guy in which he said that he was a bit confused and because of that he dropped the ball and actually didn't do anything during this turn. At least that's what he said. We'll see if that's true. So it will be a bit anticlimactic, I'd say is the correct term. But we are going to play this turn anyway. And just like he would play his, and that will be it. So let's see. And of course, I've actually never was the person who finished the game in multiplayer. I was only the person that actually had the second to last turn. So I'm curious how will it be. No, only attrition losses. Yeah, so he actually didn't do anything. Yeah, thank you. So it is May 8th of 1946. Nothing has happened. And I hope that it will be just like in the single player game, that I do not need to wait for his turn to be completed, but I can already at the end, as I click the enter button, I will be able to see in the entire map without fog of war, etc, etc. So let's go ahead and do what we can. Now, national morale, okay, it is nothing. He actually lost due to attrition, that makes sense. So we are just going to play this turn, as we believe that they are just so demoralized that they decided to not do anything and rebelled against their leaders. Okay, that will do. That will do. Maybe let's destroy some of those guys. Nothing in here, nothing there. Here as well. Okay. Maybe I will be able to destroy his tanks, who knows. Let's increase my chances. Ooh. Ah. Beautiful. Let's make our peace deal as good as possible. In the west, let's take a look. Let's slaughter what remains out of them. Do I even need to say anything? 3 points already lost. Hopefully will you. What is this? Oh, let's finish them all. Yeah, can finish you off with those guys. Hopefully this tank will be able to finish him off. Maybe first let's actually try to... Oh, yes, thank you. Got you. clear the land out of the allied infestation. Nice. And France is once more free. Ah yeah, let's not do it. Then let's finish the Soviet destroyer. Of course, 3 points. Please, please. Okay, nice. Now let's start in the south. Take tanks, maybe. Okay, that's good to know. But we destroy some of them. Ooh. American tanks gone. Soviet Union gone. Let's move in, my lord. Connect once more. Here, what can we do with you? Probably just kill some of those guys. I will probably not be able to kill you. We might as well go there. Bam. Point, obviously. Not really going to happen, so let's move you here. We'll go after his HQ. Oh, what do you think? Goodbye. Now my chances should be increased, though. I don't really care about this city no more. Let's just make them suffer as much damage as possible. Lucky one time. Oh, yeah. Reinforce. Nothing really in here. Nothing of importance there. Oh, nice. Swap this out. Why not? Let's retake our land. One point. Let's retake Siedlce as my last move of this game, to give us a better position for a peace deal, obviously. You're dead. Oh, you can't reach. But maybe you will fall. Not really, it seems. Let's do that. Destroy his tanks. Ooh, not really what I wanted this early, but okay. Let's take care of you as well. Let's take care of you. Nice. I have enough. I should be able to do it. Finish him off. Yay. Okay. We even have a line here. How about? You know what, let's just kill him and be done with it. Fun. Nice job. We could have taken care of you though. Okay, too late. Why not? Ooh. He ran away. Okay. No death for you. Okay, nothing in here. Nothing there. Alright. Fine. Let's take a look at the losses now. Not these losses, but drafts, MPP. Nice. For once. National morale. 43%. Another. So many points lost. 20. 51. Okay. Now, losses, detailed losses. 42, so more than 2/3. But of course I was cheating this time, as he did not respond. So, who cares? Okay, so that will be it for this game. Let's send last message, because he will be able to see it. What to say? Okay, let's traditionally save the turn. And I hope that I will be able to we will actually receive the state game. We can move around freely and see everything now, and I do not need to wait another turn. And if that will not be the case, then I will do recap another time around, I guess. So let's hit the enter button and let's see the axis. What is it? Axis tactical victory or minor victory? Axis tactical victory. Let's see this sweet message. As we are holding 3 of those objectives, which is Warsaw, Paris, and Berlin. And he did not take any of them actually. He took Warsaw for a single turn, but we recovered pretty quickly. And okay, so let's see that message. Okay, 877 MPs. Come on. What is that? What? Stalemate? What a lie. It's a complete victory. It's decisive axis victory. No stalemate. I have fulfilled my... Let's give a game a few seconds. Please. Don't do it. Stalemate my ass. Okay, that's what I wanted to see. Oh, what's that? Oof. That's hideous. Stalemate. Stalemate? Are you kidding me? It was Axis Tactical Victory, no stalemate. Okay. Regarding that, let's take a look at his power around here. What happened to you, Ike? He's got some vessels to reinforce his positions. Not you, I know about you. Few fighters. A lot of fighters. Not a lot of bombers. And not a lot of British units as well. He is here but not prepared, as we can see. So he would not be ready to attack next turn, and he's got no port. And he's not in a port anyway. Those guys are in a port, but they do not have nowhere to land. What does he have here? Okay, a lot of bombers that are damaged and without support of HQ, it seems. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wow, that's it? He's got nothing else when it comes to land units? Okay. And wow. He was pretty naked in here as well. Destroyed almost all of his forces. Okay, that's surprising, to say the least. What's he have around here? He's got the core in Baghdad that he could, and an army here that he didn't do anything with. What does he have in Caucasus? Core here, okay, doing nothing, as well as one in Archangels. Around here he's got those units that he needed to pull back. Not a whole lot around Leningrad though. How does his Soviet lines look like? Okay, he deployed tanks, fresh tanks. Well, he got plenty still, but those were all reinforcements coming in, I guess. And we'll see how many reinforcements he had coming. 2 HQs, one here. Okay. I guess. One here. And this is just crazy. There's absolutely nothing. And there is a lot of stuff trickling in, but a few turns too late, heavy artillery engineers Patton came back to life, and bombers that, let's take a look, they deployed recently, as you can see by there. He did not, he was but he was deployed recently. Wow, that's just literally not much around here. Hey, that's a defensive line. It's actually not that great because you can cover it with only 3 ships. And okay. Alright, what do we have here? 21st Army. He took damage probably with because of the high seas. Yeah, that makes sense. Ooh, that's a lot of MPs doing nothing. And let's take a look at his production lines. Okay, that wasn't too great. A lot of tanks coming in, destroyed in the Balkans. Almost ready to be actually deployed. But they wouldn't come into play. Shock army, of course, nothing here. And I'm curious about his research, because he researched something as Soviet Union. Amphibious warfare. Yeah. Okay. US has a cheat on logistics, that's doing nothing. Okay. Alright. So that is it. Well, I think that we could maybe hold out till 1947. Probably not, but there is definitely a chance. But I doubt it would be possible. But we were lucky last time, as he did not. Well, we would have been lucky last time because it was raining during his turn, but it's not an issue anymore that we need to worry about. It's got so much. Yeah, I don't know if it would be possible to last much longer, but we did enough. Wow, it's huge. Let's just take a last look at the reports. Also, I want to take a look at the amount of tank he lost. 24, 37, 45 to 7, okay. Alright. It's actually crazy. So, maybe let's do a quick recap of what went wrong and what went well for me this game. So first, what went pretty badly for me is obviously the Wargaming Guy's weather. It was I have actually written everything down because I do write things to remember for the next time and all the other stuff. You know what I'm talking about, I hope. So he's got, well, I've recorded when his air power was grounded because of the weather. So in Italy there were literally 3 turns when his air power was down. It was October 44, November 45 and December 45. 3 turns. All of these were in all of them it was raining. In the west, first turn was winter of December 1944. It was snowing, and next time it was during winter of 1945, and it was 3 turns throughout the winter of it. So altogether 4 turns in the British Isles that he was not able to use his air power all during winter, and I'm excluding, of course, from this discussion the last turn because he didn't do anything. I think it was raining actually. And in Italy, not in Italy, Soviet Union, first turn December 1944, it was raining. No, it was snowing, but the ground wasn't frozen. He only had frozen ground during 2 terms in the Soviet Union. That was it. The second time, November 45, it was raining. That's it. His Soviet air power was granted for a total 2 terms of this game. It's just completely ridiculous. No, and of course, the second thing that went really wrong for me was obviously rolls. I've lost like so many points on this turn on this guy, and I don't even want to count how many points did I lose. I'm not really sure how many points did he lost. Maybe actually his rolls went better than mine. I don't know, but I can speak only for myself, so I know that it was horrible pretty much. And what went very well is that before I started this scenario, I just loaded the game in single player to see the positioning of the units, etc., to consider my options, you know. And what happened at the end of my first turn is that a lot of partisans rebelled. It was like 5 of 6 in the Soviet Union, in the Balkans, in France. It was a lot to handle. And during this PBEM game, at the very first turn, none spawned, which was pretty damn huge because I did not need to move resources there, and I could only and I just covered them with garrisons, like some fighters, like Romanian fighters. It was pretty huge that I was able to cover all of these hexes in the first turn, so no rebellions happened. And I was able to send all my available troops that I could spare to France immediately. That was pretty huge. And what also went huge, that I was able to not let him get enough ground in France for me to not be able to contain his landings very early in the game. It was pretty huge, because otherwise he was never in a position that he could land, for example, too many troops at once and just destroyed my units one by one. Of course, he could have done that with his air power, but he didn't. So it's on him, not on me. But it went very well for me in the France. And what went also well is that I was almost always finished with one threat before just in time for to actually phase another and deflect the another. So my timing was pretty good in this game. Although I made a huge mistake in Minsk by not moving my HQ into this position, into this hex, but I moved it into here. And because of that, I was not able to operate my units on the railway because they did not have enough supply. I've lost a lot of units. He did pretty well in the very first stage of in the Soviet front, on the Soviet front line, because he was very quickly able to just destroy my units. What he did very well is that he did not try to encircle my units and let them rot, but he destroyed them immediately. And because of that, although I was able to rebuild them cheaply because of that, because they were in good enough supply when he destroyed them, he moved very quickly through the land, as we have started in front of Smolensk and Pskov, Narva. Was able to reach Warsaw while I was still having a railgun in the Warsaw, just digging in. I had not many units in here, but I was able to just hold on long enough to actually get more units to deal with the west, move my units east and try to defend. And that was pretty much the entire story about the situation here. I've moved enough, I've dealt with the western landings just in time to actually have enough units to not only defend but counter-attack him. Because the problem in here is that my line initially was so thin and I did have only one tank, because one got destroyed by him. One tank that could counter-attack him in the Poland. And it was pretty bad. If he broke me just took one of the key cities around here, like Warsaw, Krakow, or Königsberg, for my supply issues, or even Allenstein, then I would have supply problems, and that would be pretty big, especially in the south. And I had just enough units ready to be in time to defend it, so that went pretty well here. And of course the southern portion, well, Kleist is definitely an MVP, as he deflected with one tank and one mechanized units all the attacks for like a year and a half. That was pretty impressive. Because he did so well, I was able to actually move some of my German units and Romanian units as well from this front line to reinforce the front lines which I needed to reinforce at the time. It was pretty good. And of course in Italy, well, I do not know if I played that well in Italy, because not much really happened. I lost a tank early on after destroying one of his tanks, but not much have happened in here, and that was pretty huge for me, because as we have seen, like 2 turns, or not, 3 turns ago, he just rolled through my lines in front of Siena, took Siena, captured those 2 guys that were defending on the hills in here. And if that had happened earlier, I would have not enough units to actually counter him. So that was pretty good, but that's an issue that the Wargaming Guy had. He gave me just enough room to breathe, and that went well. That's why it went well. Also, what he didn't do, it's important what he didn't do. He did not raid my convoy routes at all, pretty much. This is the time when he started to raid Finnish convoy route, but he never actually raided Norwegian convoy route. As we can see, he's got units to spare to do that, and it's like what 30 MPPs per turn, so it's around 1000 MPPs per this entire scenario, so that was pretty huge for me. Not doing anything in Finland was pretty good for me as well, because I did not need to actually put MPPs into Finland, at least not that much. I actually taken Murmansk, and which dropped his national morale by a bit. You can see it here, and the Murmansk was taken. This was when he retook Warsaw, I believe. This might be the case, and it went pretty well for me there. Also, that I'm not really sure why he did not move his HQ in here, not taking, it was like, I don't know, 7 turns since he took Bucharest before the end of the game, and he just didn't do anything against Sofia. I don't know why. Athens had not fallen, that's pretty crazy as well. And what could he have done differently is the question, because as this game began, I was pretty sure I'm going to lose anyway, no matter what I do. I'm pretty sure that I said it at the very beginning, that this scenario is about not winning, but about choosing how do you want to lose. And I chose to lose fighting in the west, because that was my only proactive move of this game, and giving up all this ground in the east as well. And it didn't happen ever. Even after he lost like the initial landing, he should have, with all these strategic bombers that he had, I'm not sure if he's got them here, he's got one, I see. He should have at least flattened my economy, like all those mines, all those capital cities, they are producing a lot of money that I very much desperately needed. There was a chance that I had trouble actually buying back all my destroyed units. I was unable to do it, so that's pretty huge. And of course, what he should have done initially was, of course, bombard the key, in the very first turn. If you want to do the D-Day correctly, you bombard the key railway junctions, so the opponent German opponent can't actually rail his units to defend the beachheads, and because of that he loses time, and you can take over pretty quickly because of that. And you have to focus on Paris, obviously, because otherwise your supply will never go above 5, because you don't have the primary capital, and with the liberation of France you can actually, your supply gets better because it gets up to 10, and that's huge issue while dealing with it. And of course that's why actually moving through Italy is a very good move, because you have amazing supply in Italy. But it was his call. Hopefully he'll do better next time when it comes to D-Day landings. But it was a fun game for me, because not only because I won, but because because he underperformed a bit, I had actually a chance, you know what I'm saying here. Otherwise, if the players are on equal playing field, like when it comes to their skills, and one side has a clear advantage, which is economy, units, number of units, of course he has more than me overall, and a lot of his Soviet units died. That's because he doesn't have them. Like, take a look at that, and of course most of them are actually high quality units, while most of my losses are garrisons and corps. So like 70 of those are garrisons and corps, so only like 35 of my land units were actually worthwhile, because of that. It was quite interesting, because I had just enough to defend against it, That was pretty nice. And I guess that will be it for this playthrough. And at the end, I wanted to thank everybody who followed both mine and the Wargaming Guy side of things. Especially a special thanks to those who regularly commented under my videos. And I've got a few names that I would like to make a shout out to. And it's C-Data, Mark Raventos 67, and CW Books. You've commented regularly. It was very nice reading your comments, and it made it nicer experience for me knowing that someone is actually watching those. So thank you guys, a special thanks to you, but also everybody else. And of course, from now on, if you want to see some of Strategic Command gates, if you have some ideas that I can do some stuff, if you want me to do some very specific things in Strategic Command, but not really World War I, because I do not really enjoy that game, to be frank. But if you want to see some more Strategic Command from me, then post your ideas and opinions on that. But anyway, thank you for watching, as we have concluded our fight to the last bullet against the Wargaming Guy, and it was not stalemate, the game light, it was Axis tactical victory, obviously. And thank you once more, and I will see you next time.